Hi, I'm Dr. Angela McBurdy of DoctorFlute.com, and today's flute tip is on tone color. Now, tone color is one of those things that's just a little bit ethereal. What really is tone color and how do we do it? It's kind of like the word nuance, but we can use tone color in nuance. So that's something that can be applied to nuance, and that's for another time. Let's just talk about tone color. I remember when I was in college thinking, all right, so what's this tone color thing all about? Because I played one way, that's it. And if there was tone color changes, well, that's what happened. I didn't really think about it and how I should change. It wasn't something that I figured out what it was and understood what I should be doing. But tone color is the changes of your sound based on the vowel shape of your mouth, based on your loose embouchure, based on the angle of the air. It all changes your sound. If I play with my head up and really long, that's kind of the sound I want when I want a woody sound. That's a tone color. If I play I'm playing down, I'm widening my embouchure, it's going to give me a different sound. And as you play a piece, you might want to start experimenting with tone color or do it with a much more conscious idea of how it should be done. Now, I'm going to talk about tone color using this book by a good friend of mine, Nina Assimakopoulos. And she wrote this, The Virtuosic Flutist, and you can find her on Instagram under her name and under the Virtuosic Flutist name. This is a great book. It's got wonderful writing about tone color and how to achieve tone color. Right now, I'm going to use her exercise that she has in here. I'm going to explain to you how she says to start experimenting with this tone color. Then I'm going to put it in that passage that I just played so that maybe you can hear the differences. Okay, so again, there's more to this than just what I'm going to tell you, which is we're going to talk about the vowel sounds to use to change your tone color. So there's more. This would be a great book to get and then read it like a book. Then after you've read it like a book, then take your flute and try playing how she says to do it. Let's just talk about vowel sounds. So if you make your mouth different shape as far as vowels go, A, E, I, O, U, they change your mouth shape. And you can apply that to your playing. She uses here 5 vowel sounds: E, A, O, U. And if you say those, E, you're wide, A little bit wide but longer, O, shape is different, and U. Those are very different shapes. And she uses an F 5-note pattern, using that to express these different shapes. And if you do these different vowel shapes, going half step higher, how she has it in here, you're going to hear changes. So an E shape on F may be a little bit different of a sound than in E shape on A up to E. But again, this is for you to experiment with, and this is just a jumping off place. So let's try E. Here's my E vowel shape. It's a very present sound. I feel like it's modern and it's edgy when I do that. Here's A. I feel like that opened up the sound a little bit more, took a little bit of that edge off. Here's O. And I think you can clearly hear the difference between these three so far. And then oo. So they all four offer a different tone color. Now, let me go to this passage in Bruce Stark's American Suite. This is his third movement called Muse. And this is supposed to represent some places in Arizona and the Nevada mountains and the ocean in California. I think specifically the ocean at night. So that's this movement here. We're just going to play a little bit of it. But I want to use these different vowel shapes and play and see what you can hear when I do that. So I'll start with the E. Now I felt like that E, it's kind of an interesting sound. I liked it here. Probably performing it, I'm going to use a combination of these, but right now I'm going to use the whole vowel sound for that whole passage. So that was E. Now here's A. Let me go to oo. No, the next one is O. All right, again, I hear the change. Can you hear the difference between these? And here's oo. So that's the oo sound. All right, those were 4 different tone colors that I now have at my disposal to use in any piece that I have. So if you've never thought about tone colors before, or you didn't really understand what's the idea, or like me, I knew I could get different colors, but how and where to apply them, I didn't know. This gives you a great tool to use to experiment with them, to get these in your tool basket, and now you can apply them. Now in this particular passage here, I kind of like starting with the A, but I think I would switch into a different vowel sound. So let me start off with A here. Now maybe an O here. I'm going to go back to E a little bit. And now I'm going to change here to, let's see, what if I went to the oo sound. So let me put all those together. Now if I experimented with that, that might not be exactly how I'm going to perform it. but it gives me tools to use to experiment with that, to say, what do I like and how do I want that to change as I go on? I might say, you know what, I like the edgier sound at the beginning here. And now go to A. Now ooh. Get a little bit more intense sound right there. So if you have never experimented with tone colors, now's the time to start doing that. You have a lot of different ideas presented to you. In Nina's book, they have them right here. You can read, you can experiment with that. You can do these 5-note studies with all those different vowel sounds and see what you come up with when you play your solo. When you get into that solo and say, I want a different sound here, or I'm going to start with this sound and change the sound over here. It's great. This is where music gets to be really fun and an exciting thing to be practicing, because you can change. It doesn't stay the same. So if you've never practiced with tone color, get Nina's book here, practice it, read it, do what it says. It's going to change your playing. That's today's flute tip. If you like today's flute tip, press the like button, subscribe, comment below, and share it with your friends.